Kay stopped for a moment and calmly folded his hands in front of him.
I was raised in the facility where my father...
Look at that! Oh my god. Best new image. Best new image of the Let's Play right here. We'll get better ones later, but like, come on, look at this. It's Baby K! Look at that. They made a tiny suit of armor for him, even. But why?
He was the only person who worked there, which meant he was the only person I saw until I was older. That had been the situation for as long as I could remember, though, so I never thought it odd.
He wouldn't allow me to go near him when he was working, but the only times he wasn't working were the times he was sleeping. As such, the only communication I had was with the education software he'd given me. Oh boy. Sonic Schoolhouse, Mario teaches typing. I suppose I was a fairly expressionless child then. We develop body language to communicate with others, and with no one else to communicate with, I suppose it makes sense. Once I learned to read and write, I began to realize that my situation was not normal. Many of my books mention a mother as part of a family, and several of the mother, father, and children would eat meals together and talk to one another. Soon I found myself longing for a mother of my own. Someone who would always be with me, who would scold me if I did something wrong. At night they would read to me before bedtime. If only I had a mother like that, I thought, I would be so happy. So for the first time in my life, I asked my father for something. He had finished working and, as usual, was making his way towards his bedroom when I stopped him and asked for a mother. He looked at me silently for a long moment before finally responding, "Okay." Oh, that was easy. No need to argue about it, just like, okay, sure. I remember this day how happy I was at that moment. Yeah, go get a girlfriend, Dad. A few moments later, he called me into his laboratory. For the first time he'd ever done anything like that. My heart was beating quickly as I stepped inside. Standing next to him was a young woman, and my hopes soared. But when he said her name, or rather her ID number, they were dashed. Robo-Mom. He had given me a robot to play the part of a mother. Look, oh, that's sad, Baby K. Oh no, the Zero doll. Oh. I didn't want a mother that was just a machine who did what a human told her to. When I told my father that, he looked surprised for the first time in my life. Then he frowned, coughed, and admonished me for being a whiner. He'd never scolded me for anything before. First I was surprised, then angry. Hot tears streamed down my face. They shorted out the robot suit, and that's how I forgot everything. I mean, my father ordered the robot to take care of me and shoot us out of his lab. The robot was very convincing. She smiled and spoke as if she was a real person, but I refused to answer and locked myself in my room. You could talk to a robot and it'll respond, but in the end you're still talking to a machine, not a person. If that was what I'd wanted, I still had the education software my father had given me. You'll be my real mom, hooked on phonics. When I ignored the robots and tried to take care of me, it looked sad. It couldn't really be sad, of course. It was only programmed to look that way. Robot's facade of sadness didn't mean anything to me. I'd be like, aw, but like, from Kay's perspective, yeah. After that, I stopped expecting anything from my father. We never really spoken to begin with, so it was very easy enough to make sure we never saw one another. I lived my life as if he didn't even exist. Perhaps it seems strange to you that I continued to live with him, but I never considered leaving. Perhaps in the hidden depths of my heart I'd longed for a relationship with my father. Everything changed when I was 18. They made a bigger suit. Oh, I left my room one morning to find a woman standing outside of it. She was the first human I'd ever seen apart from my father. I was understandably surprised. For a moment I thought my father had created a new robot, but when I told her that, she laughed and explained that she had come to help him. As it turned out, she was a very mysterious person. She was much older than I was, but something about the way she behaved was almost girlish. She would tell me stories about the world outside in such a way that I was never sure if she was telling the truth or making up fantastic lies. Ultimately, though, the truth didn't matter. I loved her stories. She wasn't helping my father directly with his research, so I spent most of my days with her. For long, I discovered she'd known my father when he was young. She told me stories of how he'd fallen in love as a younger man, and I began to imagine that the person he'd fallen in love with had been her, that she was, in fact, secretly my mother. After she settled in with us, our long-established routine began to change drastically. Ah, look at that! First, we started to eat together. Before that, I had never shared a meal with anyone in 18 years. She scolded me for my table manners, more accurately, the lack thereof. If I was going to eat with others, she said, I would need to be more polite. Having eaten alone for my entire life, manners had never been something I'd even thought about. My father got in trouble too, when he made the mistake of reading through research papers during dinner. The look of surprise and embarrassment on his face made me burst into laughter. I couldn't remember the last time I'd shared a laugh with my father. It might have been the first time. The room we considered our living room changed too. Before, I'd just been another room, but she made it comfortable. After we finished our dinner, I would sit on the sofa and relax with her and my father. Those times are what I cherished the most. Before we continue, I'd like to make a note of this room that's pictured here, and how very familiar it looks. And with Kay being raised in this place, if this is an accurate picture of it, paints a very interesting picture. Back to the backstory. For a little while, every day I got the family I'd longed for ever since I was a child. And this also looks familiar. As a suggestion, I started to help with my father's research. He specialized in genetic engineering, and I discovered I had an interest in it as well. Time faded away as I lost myself in research. Now that we were working and studying together, my father and I had a great deal to talk about. For the first time in my life, we began to speak with one another like a father and son. Whenever I impressed him with something I'd learned, I felt a surge of happiness that drove me to study even harder. My days felt full, bright, and meaningful. Most importantly, I was happy. Well, look at them. 4 years passed in the blink of an eye, until one day I happened to overhear my father and the woman speaking in the laboratory. Their tone was serious, so I listened closer, curious to know whatever they're talking about. Let me retry that sentence, because I screwed that up. Their tone was serious, so I listened closer, curious to know what they were talking about. That was when I heard they say she planned to give her life to achieve their goals. It was clear that she wasn't being metaphorical. She would have to die. And I do want to say, the old woman looks very familiar as well from this profile. I was in shock. The research I had thrown myself into would lead to her death. I asked my father to stop his research immediately. He refused to listen. She agreed with him. She told me that she had been prepared for what she had to do since the day she came to our facility. My father had known about it from the beginning as well. Angry and disappointed, I began to investigate what exactly was the research I'd been helping with working towards. Perhaps, I thought, I could figure out a way to keep her alive. I discovered much more than I'd been bargaining for. To begin with, I learned the ultimate success of my father's research would require a good deal of sacrifice. And I also learned that my own existence was just another part of his project. Oh, that's kind of messed up. I had been created to function as my father's spare. Yeah? If he died during his research, I was intended to continue in his place. Well, awful convenient that you got really into the research, huh? I was stunned. I was furious with my father, and with her, with even the research I'd poured myself into for 4 years. There was only one thing to do: destroy the facility and end my father's horrible research once and for all. I made plans to destroy the main reactor and with it the entire facility. But she saw right through me. My father was livid and locked me in my room until his research was complete. All I could think of was how I might stop him. She did her best to convince me that I'd misunderstood, that everything would be fine. As much as I wanted to believe her, I remembered in the back of my mind that she had been the one who pushed me to become involved in my father's research. Had that been an earnest desire to give me something to do with my life, or... Still, I couldn't bring myself to hate her. She had given me a reason to live. Even if she had conspired with my father to mold me into his replacement, the warmth she'd shown me had been real. She'd made me feel as if I was that if I had a real family, That was something I wouldn't have given up for the world. I pleaded with her to leave, but she quietly shook her head. There's someone very special to her, she told me. He had saved her life once, and she felt her death would help her repay that favor. She would have liked nothing more than to marry him and live a happy, normal life together, but she couldn't. For his sake, she said, and for the sake of the future she'd wanted, she was determined to see my father's research succeed. I'm ruining this ending by flubbing. I realized that although she was the most important person in my life, there was someone more important than me and hers. She tried to explain that beyond what we could see was a future where no one would have to die, but I refused to listen. What good was a potential future to me? It was what I had now that I had wanted. I couldn't stand to think that she would give her life for a man I'd never even seen. So I shut myself off from the world. Perhaps that is why I lost my memory. That's rough, buddy. Kid let out a deep, tired sigh.
I'm sorry. I lost track of time.
It's okay.
Not having any memories is less than desirable, but it could be argued that regaining them is almost more taxing.
So you remember almost everything?
No, the details are still indistinct, especially more recent events.
Huh? How much time we have left, by the way?
Sigma, I'm sorry, but would it be alright if I laid down for a bit?
What's wrong?
I don't feel very well.
Uh-oh. He's not feeling radical, is he?
It must be because I remembered so much so quickly. My head feels like it's going to explode.
Yeah, he's feeling pretty radical, all right. You okay?
Yes. I think I just need to rest.
Okay. Take as long as you need. I'll go look for Clover and Tenmyoji myself.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Kay lowered himself heavily onto the red sofa in the corner of the room. Nope. He looks very silly in this. Well, guess I better get moving then. Stepped out of the room and nearly ran to Phi. What are you doing? You're supposed to be waiting back in the warehouse.
Yeah, I know. I just decided to go check on you guys. I waited a long time and nobody showed up. Judging by your face, you haven't found them either. Damn.
Yeah.
Where's Kay?
He's in the lounge.
You decided to split up?
Well, not quite. Instead of waiting for my answer, she opened the door to the lounge and walked in. Let's go on honk shoo me 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 me.
What's up with him?
I guess he's not feeling too well. Said he wanted to rest for a bit.
Is he alright?
I think so. We should leave him alone right now, though. Remember, there's a real person inside that suit. I'm sure he's just tired.
Tired, huh? How are you feeling?
What?
I feel tired just looking at you. Your face is like a week-old sock.
Really? Oh, I guess I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little exhausted. I mean, all of a sudden I wake up trapped in some weird game, then dead bodies start turning up. Honestly, I'm amazed I managed to hold on to my sanity for this long. So that everything here makes absolutely zero sense. Zero because get it because the more I try and figure any of it out, the more I feel like my brain's just going to melt and run out of my ears. No, that's just Theoretical 6. You know what I'm talking about, right? I managed to figure out who the killer was, but there's still 100 other questions we have no idea about. Where the heck are we? Why are we even here? And when are we is another big thing. What's this whole nunnery game thing for? And what is Zero Senior up to? Heck, how about who Zero Senior is? The rabbit said he was one of us, but... You think it's Dio?
Who knows?
Besides, we still don't know why Dio killed them. He said he was ordered to do it, but... And there's more, too. What about the old lady? Who is she? What's her deal? Heck, what are any of our deals? I don't know jack squat about anyone here. I don't even know anything about you, Fi.
Are you serious? You can't honestly suspect me, can you?
No, that's not it.
I'm just like you. I was kidnapped on December 25th and brought here too.
She trailed off. You heard that, right?
Yeah. It came from the hallway.
Uh-oh. Let's go have a look. Those weren't gunshots, were they? What the heck was that noise?
There's nobody here.
Maybe they got on the elevator.
Let's try hitting the button. If the door doesn't open immediately, then we'll know the elevator's downstairs.
Push button. Yup. Something's brewing down there. And it ain't good. I'll wager a bet on that.
Thought so.
Let's go. Which way do we go, though? That's the big question. Which way? Where do you think they went?
Let's just head for the green door.
Why?
Because the treatment center's there. That's where Dio and Quark are.
Uh-oh. So?
You aren't worried? I just want to make sure they're safe.
They're fine. Tamioja or Clover probably made that noise. Well, maybe both of them. But I don't think they'd hurt Quark or Dio.
Are you sure?
Huh?
Dio admitted to killing the old woman, but he still insists that he didn't kill Alice or Luna. What if he's telling the truth?
Are you serious? You gonna believe him?
Doesn't matter. I just want to know if they're safe.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Just, you know,
No harm in being careful.
ease our minds about it. Alright, fine. In we go! Golem Bay's still open. Let's see here. How's it looking in here? Dio's still locked in. We head to the first pod. Cracked open the top and lifted it back. Quark still here? Yep. There's Quark, sound asleep. See?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I was probably getting worried for nothing. How about Dio?
Let's open his. Dio. What the heck?
Check his pulse!
It was pointless to check his pulse. He was obviously dead, but I did anyway. Yeah, he's dead.
Look, the oxygen level for his pod says 0%.
Uh-oh. Hey, remember I said how it'd be really screwed up if you woke up in there and you're trapped inside? Now, kind of like you're buried alive or something? That means he asphyxiated. But why?
Someone must have tampered with the pod and lowered the oxygen levels.
Who?
Look, we should go tell Kay about this. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Kay and I have an alibi, though, so who was it? That Wayne free to follow Fi turned and ran off. Took a deep breath and followed. Whomst could have done this? Will we find out? Fine, I burst into the lounge and ran up to Kay. Kay, wake up. Something's happened. He didn't move. I grabbed him by the shoulders and shook. He twitched and quickly sat up.
What is it?
Well, you see, a lot happened. We explained how we found Dio dead and how it looked like he died of asphyxiation. It appeared that someone had reduced the oxygen level in his pod to 0. Weird how you can make the pod do that. Kinda messed up. Huh, 0? When we find him again. Oh boy. Got a lot of questions.
What? But why? I thought that Dio was the one who killed the old woman, Alice, and Luna. Then who killed him, if he was the murderer?
The only people who could have done it are Clover and Tenmyoji.
There's also Quark.
What? No. That's impossible. I suggested Quark woke up, opened his pod from the inside, killed Dio, and went back to sleep?
No, I'm just saying that strictly speaking, it's a possibility. So just, you know, take it into consideration.
Well,
if Quark is here a senior, that'd be very funny. All these mental images coming up is just hilarious.
in that case, Phi, I hate to say it, but doesn't that mean that you could have done it?
Me?
Yes. You could have done it any time after Sigma and I left the Floor B warehouse.
Don't give me that. I was waiting for Clover and Tenmyoji to show up. They never did, though, so I got impatient and went to find you guys. Then I bumped into Sigma in front of the lounge.
She wanted to explain about the sound we'd heard.
I see.
Yeah, what the heck was that anyway?
So you heard something. Then perhaps it is likely that Clover and Tenmyoji were at fault.
Were the two of you together the whole time you were investigating?
Yes, we were.
You never split up or anything?
Nope.
In any event, we don't have a great deal of time to discuss it.
Ah, crap. I wrote this game. We got 7 minutes until the primary doors open.
Alright, let's get back to the Floor B warehouse. Maybe Clover and Tenmyoji are already there.
Oh, where is Dio's bracelet?
Is what?
Huh?
You didn't take it? Dio was a green solo. Phi and I are the magenta pair.
Shit. You're right. Without Dio's bracelet, we won't be able to open the secondary door.
Well, better start running.
I fear not.
I need to hurry. We'll drop by the treatment center on the way back and grab the bracelet.
All 3 of us don't need to go. You 2 go on ahead. I'll get the bracelet.
Alright.
Oh, one other thing. I need to give you these.
Oh yeah, the yellow pair bracelets. These Alice and Luna's?
Yes. Without these, you would be stuck. So, here you are. Please, take them.
Grab the bracelets and shove them in my pocket.
Alright, let's get going.
We'll have to do that next time, though. Should I? No, let's go longer, because, as you can tell, I've needed to split this video into 2, because, a lot happened. Kay's thing took a while. So, looking at this, yeah, we'll go for a little longer then. Ah, they're not here.
Maybe they did go through the door, like Kay said.
Quark's bracelet?
Or...
Or what? Come on, man. Better not give me that maybe they're already dead crap. I got enough of it from Dio. You gotta be kidding me. This isn't funny, Phi. If you're right, then you, Kay, Quark, and I are the only people still alive in here.
Hey, lay off. I want to believe they're alive, too. But...
Heard a noise and turned. Is it Kay's delivery service?
I apologize for keeping you.
Did you get Dio's bracelet?
Well, technically, yes, but
What does that mean, Kay?
Huh?
What does that mean?
best you just see it. This is what I found in Dio's pod.
What?
Oh. They can break. What the heck?
I assume whoever murdered Dio did this.
But why? There's no point.
I can't say for sure, but if I were to guess,
Oh no.
Chromatic doors have opened.
Oh, it's not gonna work, is it? Oh no.
5 minutes remain until chromatic doors close.
with a bracelet like this, I doubt we can get past the secondary door.
That means Kay and I will...
Oh no. Ah. You're gonna...
When the time comes, those 3 doors will automatically close. If anyone is left outside after they close, they'll be penalized.
I see. That's what they wanted. Whoever killed Dio wanted to use the game to kill me and Kay. That's why they broke the bracelet.
I think so. It makes the most sense.
How'd you be so calm? 5 minutes, you're gonna be...
Go on ahead, Sigma. You have those bracelets Kay gave you, right? You should be able to get through the secondary door with those. So just...
Screw that. You know, I can't just ditch you guys like that.
But if you stay here, you'll...
You think I don't know that? What kind of a monster am I if I just leave you here to die? Ah. God dang it. This was bad. How's it gonna do? I need to calm down. Just calm down. Calm down and think. There had to be a way to save them. There had... Oh. Oh. The fields. The fields.
The first is an anesthetic called Soparil Beta. The other is a muscle relaxant called tubocurarine. Your bracelet also has a bunch of needles on the inside. If you break the rules, those needles hop out and inject you.
My brother told me about that. Neostigmine is a type of cholinesterase inhibitor. That means it's sort of an antidote for tubocurine. I knew it!
Give it back. I found it, so it's mine.
The fields. Of course. The antidote.
The antidote?
I didn't have time to explain. I took off running towards the exit. Whoa, you don't see that kind of animation.
Where are you going?
Stay here. I'll be right back. I bolted out of the warehouse towards the treatment room. Now hold on a minute. How much neostigmine do we even have? Do we have enough to just save one person or all of us? Because that's kind of important, Sigma. Looked like we just had the one. Time to defile Dio's corpse and search for that gun. I think Dio put it in his pocket. Come on, come on, come on. Please still have it. Sweat was pouring down my face, but I didn't bother to wipe it off. It wasn't time. I dug frantically through Dio's coat until... Aha! Found it! Oh. There's only one dose. Injection gun uses the whole bottle at once. See? That... yeah. Can't save both of them.
1 minute remains until
Gotta run.
chromatic doors close.
Who do we save? 1 minute? No! Spun around and shot at the treatment center. Who do we save? Who do we save?
2, 1. Chromatic doors closing.
We're too late! Oh. No. You gotta be kidding me.
Oh dear.
Sigma.
There we go. There's a sharp, quick pain in my wrist. Barely even noticeable. I couldn't feel anything flowing into my veins, but I knew it was there. First would be the anesthetic Soparil. We got Soparil vision again. I blinked, my vision started to blur. I tried to think, it felt like my mind had been stuffed with cotton. Take the cotton out of your mind! I told you this earlier! My legs began to wobble and gave out entirely as I crumpled to the floor. No, I couldn't fall asleep. I had to give one of them the antidote before my bracelet injected me with turbocurine. With every ounce of strength I could muster, I forced my eyes back open. We can't exactly give Kay the neostigmine, can we? So we gotta give it to Phi. Kay almost looks like he's in the Family Guy death pose. Kay and Phi lay limp on the floor in front of me. In my right hand, I could feel the injector gun with its precious cargo. I can only pull the trigger once. Was I gonna choose? Phi? Or Kay? No, what was I thinking? There's only one answer. Phi. I didn't even have a choice. After all, Kay's entire body was covered in impenetrable metal. I'm sorry. Hold on a minute. You know something weird about that thing on the back? He's opened the suit. I summoned up as much energy as I could and dragged myself towards Phi. After what felt like an eternity, I was finally within arm's reach. No time to waste, I pressed the gun to her arm and pulled the trigger. She's saved.
Sigma. What the hell did you...
Inject you with neostigmine. It's a type of cholinesterase inhibitor. I pronounced that wrong. I should have listened to Clover. It's the antidote to the muscle relaxant.
Why did you... pick... me?
Because I can't use the injection gun on Kay. I'll never get through to metal.
Then why didn't you inject yourself?
Oh yeah, we could have done that, couldn't we? Heh. I guess you got a point. Honestly, it didn't even cross my mind.
You're the biggest idiot on the planet.
I sure am, Phi. Sure am. Hey, come on. Is that any kind of thing to say to someone who's about to die? How about something more tender?
No. Screw this. I don't want to live if it means being in debt to you.
Ouch.
No goddamn way.
Oh, I'm sorry, Phi. You don't have a choice right now.
I'm not gonna...
The words slurred and slowed as their eyes fluttered closed. She wasn't dead, of course. I could hear the faint sound of her breathing and see her chest rise and fall. Good. Phi's gonna be alright. So we managed to, like, overcome the Soparil enough to do this. We are simply built different from everyone else, I guess. But Kay... I looked over in his direction. That was when I noticed it. Open. There's a hole here in the back of your head. Yeah, it looked like you insert something. It says open, so maybe you put some kind of key in there.
You could open up the suit and take the mask off.
Wait. Then he... But when could he have... It's empty.
Yes.
He did take the key. There's something in there before?
No. It was empty when I found it.
What if he lied? Could Kay have taken the key? How'd he gotten it didn't really matter anymore. What did matter was that Kay had been able to remove his armor. And he had. No. It was Kay what killed Dio. Holy crap. Holy crap. That would mean Dio's killer is... I coaxed as much strength as I could from my increasingly lethargic body and crawled towards Kay. Are we finally gonna see it? Kay! Wake up! Come on, talk to me! Grabbed his shoulder and shook him until he finally shifted and spoke.
Sigma.
I just need to know one thing. Did you kill Dio? You weren't sleeping, were you? After I left, you took off your armor. You didn't want to go the same way I had, so you took the other door. But you went the long way around to the warehouse of the crew quarters as you head towards the elevator. Is this really the time game? We're dying here. We don't need this map animation. Bumped into Fire and went back to the lounge to check on you. Sigma, time's a waste and we're about to die. No time for this. We saw you. Or we saw your armor, I guess. By then, you would have been out of it. While we were in the lounge, you went to the treatment room and killed Dio. Must have turned off the oxygen to his pod, although he probably didn't stick around to make sure he died. I'm betting you were in a hurry to get back before Fine and I know something was up. Once you got back to Flora, you needed us out of the lounge, so you made a noise in the hall to lure us out. Then you ran around and took the long way back to the lounge so you could enter through the rear door. Oh my god. Is this really necessary? Once you were there, you put your suit on again and waited for us. As soon as we found Dio's body, we did exactly what you expected. Kay, wake up! Something's happened! You pretend to wake up very disoriented and confused. What is it? Yep. Yada yada. Come on, Kay. I'm almost out of time. Did you kill Dio?
Yes. Your reasoning is correct. I killed him.
Why?
Because I couldn't forgive him. He took the life of someone very important to me.
Yup. The old woman is in fact Kay's mother.
I couldn't...
Who'd he kill?
The old woman.
What?
She was like mother to me. She showed me how to see meaning in my life.
Wait, are you saying...
Yes, I am. She was the woman who came here when I was 18.
Whoa, hold on. What do you mean here? Yup.
Sigma, unfortunately, we are out of time. There's something I have to tell you. I made a promise that you would hear it. Do you understand? This is very important. You must pay attention. You cannot forget.
Forget? It wasn't making sense. I was about to die. How on earth would I be remembering anything for more than a few seconds?
If you see a lion with two heads devouring the sun, remember these letters. Milkevoli. This will open the second gate.
What the heck? Hey, Kay? Who told you to tell me this? No, who are you? Show me. Show me who you really are. Grabbed a hold of Kay's mask and tore it off. What? No, that's impossible. That face. It's my face. I'm me, he says. I felt a sharp pain in my left wrist and my body collapsed unceremoniously. Second drug. Tubocurine. My vision began to blur. My head felt unnaturally heavy. The world faded away. My consciousness slipped down to the cold, dark waters of nothingness. Congratulations! We've reached Kay's ending. That was a doozy. That was a heck of a doozy. Man. So, a lot happened. We learned some very important things. The old woman, Kay's mother figure. Kay is our lookalike or something. This is all adding up to something real big. And that's stuff he told us to remember. I have a feeling that his last words have something to do with the passwords in the computer. The second gate. It means that's the password. We just need to get the username. And no, it's not admin. That'd be too easy. But hey, we finally reached our third ending. We done did it. Been a long way so far. And we're not quite done. We still got half of the left side of the flowchart. Then we've got all the right side. This will be a very long Let's Play if you haven't noticed already. Probably the longest I've ever done, I want to say. I have to double check that, but this is a very long game. I hope you've been enjoying it so far, though. I don't think I have a lot else to say right now. But yeah, we're really getting into the deep of this now. So when we continue this next, we're going to go to a different part of this flowchart, which I'm going to decide after we save here. And I want to say it'll be here-ish. Yeah, that sounds about right. This we'll be back to much later. For now, I'm gonna go down here, which unfortunately means we have to betray Luna. That's not gonna be fun, but we gotta rip the band-aid off. Just gotta get through it and make our way there. Thank you all for watching so far. Really hope you've been enjoying this Let's Play. It's been a lot of fun for me to get back into recording this. I'm back in the groove. Anyway, see you guys next time.